Hey, good morning everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. This is Dan with Ledger Support. Hope everybody is doing good today. Okay, so it's Monday, so we are back on our regular show, Monday to Friday, live tech update. So of course, this is the moment for you guys to ask any questions. If you have any, if you have any issue with your Ledger device, if you need questions about if you have questions about crypto self-custody, questions about Ledger products, if you need anything, basically, this is the moment where you can ask all your questions. And of course, I'll be helping you through, solving issues or giving you advice or really like whatever you want to ask me. All you need to do is drop your question in the thread, and I'll go through each question one by one. Now, as usual, before I start, I just want to do a quick check in terms of sound. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me okay. I'm always a little worried that the sound is not great or the video is not great. So if you could just give me a quick feedback in the thread, if you can hear me okay, then that'd be great. And then I'll start going through all the different questions. So yeah, I'll just wait for your feedback. Meanwhile, I just wanted to do a quick PSA. Just as usual, guys, as you know, there's tons of scams on social media in general, including on Twitter. I guess now it's called X. So there is tons of scams on Twitter, and again, as you know, your 24-word recovery phrase is the key to all your accounts, right? So if you give someone your 24-word recovery phrase, or if you take a picture of it and someone has access to the phrase, then they'll be able to steal your funds. They don't even need access to your device, right? They can just do it just with the recovery phrase. Okay, so as a result, being safe custodying crypto with Ledger depends a lot on how you take care of your recovery phrase. So it's super important to keep it private. And so as a result, a lot of scammers, what they do is they will impersonate Ledger Support or Ledger, or they will create fake apps, fake accounts, and they'll try to scam you by trying to trick you into revealing your 24-word recovery phrase. So this is typically what happens. You can see here, here's a scam on Twitter, right? So this is a fake support account, and they are phishing for recovery phrase here, asking people to send them the private message, and then they'll try to get your phrase. Okay. So again, guys, like Ledger Support, there's only one Ledger Support account, which is this account, Ledger_support. We'll never ask you for your 24-word recovery phrase. We'll never DM you. We'll never do shady things like that, and anyone asking you for your phrase is basically trying to scam you. Okay, so it's super, super, super important that you keep your phrase private. Okay, cool. All right, that being said, I'm going to start going through the questions. So if you have any questions, thank you for the feedback. I can see you guys, Halil, Pamela, Dave, Agostino, and Nafsed. Thank you for the feedback. I'll go through the questions now. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so the first question is from Nafsed. He or she is asking, can our ledger be hacked if left connected to your laptop? And what happens if it says it's corrupted? Okay, so the answer is no. The ledger cannot be hacked if left connected to your laptop, even if it's connected via a cord. Your ledger cannot sort of leak your private keys that way. It's completely safe to keep it connected to a phone or to a laptop via a cord. There's no problem at all. What I would say though is that there are tons of fake apps all over the internet that will try to pass for a legit Ledger Live app. And typically those fake apps, they will run a fake diagnostic of your ledger, and they will say, oh my God, your accounts are corrupted, or you need to update your accounts or whatever. And then of course they'll ask you for your 24 recovery phrase. And if the app is asking you to do this, and hopefully that's not the case, enough said, but if that app is asking you to type your 24 recovery phrase. This is a huge red flag. It's not Ledger Live. It's a scam, and don't type your phrase, okay? Otherwise, you can lose your funds. So you can give me more information about this app. Maybe if it's in your browser, maybe you can drop a link to the app. We can take a look at it together. But to answer your question, just connecting the Nano to your computer or Ledger Live and leaving it connected cannot compromise your account. Okay, the Ledger devices are designed to keep your private keys inside the device secure element, so they cannot be corrupted. Okay, all right. So next, Dave McFly. Next question. So, hi guys. What if my ledger breaks in the future? If the button does not work anymore, what do I have to do? How can I move my funds to another wallet? Yep, great question. And we get this question a lot. And the answer is, let's say, for example, this Ledger device here dies on me. Okay, tomorrow it just breaks, my dog eats it, I cannot use it anymore. Well, don't worry, it doesn't mean your accounts are affected, okay? Your Ledger device is only keeping a copy of your private keys, okay? So it's keeping that copy very, very securely, but there can be multiple copies. And the way you clone your private keys from one device to another device is with your 24-word recovery phrase, right? So I'm going to show you a dummy recovery phrase, right? This one, there is no money in it, so don't try to hack me, guys, but this is my dummy recovery phrase. By the way, never do this in real life. Okay, I'll do it because I know there is no money here. But so if you as long as I have my recovery phrase, I can, let's say I'll buy a new device. So I'll get a Nano X instead, and then I'll set up the device and I will choose the option to restore my Ledger device, my recovery phrase inside my new device. And then once you're done, then you can just, once you're done restoring your phrase in your device, then you can just connect your Ledger device to the same account, just as before, and continue managing your account. Because now this new device has the same private keys as the device you used to have before. So I hope that answered your question. Now, there is a article that actually describes the steps for restoring your accounts. So I'm going to show you this in a second. Okay, so you go on the help center, so it's support.ledger.com, that's the help center. You type restore, and this is the article that you want. It's called Restore Your Ledger Accounts with Your Recovery Phrase, and I'm gonna drop that in the chat for you so you can take it. You can take a look, Dave. So I hope that answered your question, Dave. If you need anything else, just please let me know. So again, just to summarize, if you lose your device, don't worry. The crypto is not actually in the device, right? What's in the device is just one copy of your private keys, but you can buy a new device and copy the private keys in the new device. But of course, again, the copy of your private keys is represented by your recovery phrase. If you lose your phrase, we don't have access to that copy, obviously. If you lose the phrase, or if someone finds the phrase, then they'll be able to access your funds. Okay, so that was a long answer, but hopefully that answered your question. Cool. Then we've got a bunch of shout outs in the chat. So thank you everyone for giving me feedback. I see some familiar faces here. Agostino, for example, welcome back. Pamela, Halil. Okay, so Pamela is asking, how easy is it to get a new phrase? It's pretty easy. So if you think Pamela, if you think your phrase has been compromised because you typed it into an app or something like that. So first of all, if you do that, typically like the scammer will be able to like very quickly sweep your account. So, typically this happens within seconds because it's not a human person that's scamming you. It's just a bot, like a piece of software operated by scammers that will automatically like get your private keys, then copy your recovery phrase into their own wallet, and then sweeping your funds. So it's very fast. But if you think, whatever reason you want to create a new recovery phrase, then you can reset the device by, so you would typically like type 3 wrong pins, like this, in a device, you see, like I've got 2 attempts left. If I do this 2 more times, then the device will reset. Resetting means that the device will go back to factory settings, and it will wipe the copy of the private keys inside the device. And once I'm in this situation, I can very easily set up the device again, like a new device, and then create a new recovery phrase, new private keys in the device, and then I can create new accounts in Ledger Live. Now we have, we have a Help Center article that describes those steps. So let me think. Yep, here we go. Here's the article I had in mind, and I'm gonna share it with you, Pamela, so you can take a look. And if you have any questions, then feel free to drop them in the chat here. Yeah, and Cypher answer your question as well. You reset your device and then you create a new recovery phrase. Now that being said, in this situation where you have maybe 2 recovery phrases, right? You've got your old phrase that's been wiped from the device, and you've got your new recovery phrase in the device. Then you might have a collection of different accounts in Ledger Live. You might have accounts that are linked to your old recovery phrase and accounts that are linked to your new recovery phrase. So it's usually a good practice to remove, if you're gonna go through the process of changing recovery phrase, you also want to get rid of the account, like remove the accounts, or I should say hide the accounts linked to your old compromised recovery phrase from Ledger Live. So what you would do is you would select an account, for example, that's linked to your old recovery phrase, click the account, click the wrench icon here, and remove from portfolio. And this will basically hide the account. Okay, so in the future, that will limit the situations where you would, by mistake, send funds to an account that's been compromised. Okay, so next question from Darlene, recurring guest on the chat as well. So Darlene is asking, I posted this concern before during this live, provided ticket number, I've opened a case, responded to Ledger support through email, and had to resolve this. Still have issues. Okay, so Darlene, I'm sorry to hear that. If you can describe your issues and maybe drop the support tickets, or both actually, in the chat, then I'll try my best to do some live troubleshooting. And if not, I'll just write down your ticket number, and then I'll have a look tomorrow morning. Okay. So Gronk K, what about support _ledger 2? Gronk, this is a scam. Just straight up, this is a scam. There is only one Twitter account. So I'm gonna show it to you here. There is only one Ledger support account, and there is only one Ledger account on Twitter. The official Ledger support account is @Ledger support. And you know what? I'm gonna change the display here so you can see the little badge better. So this is the only official Ledger support account on Twitter. It has a golden check mark, and it also has a Ledger badge. Okay, that's when you know it's the correct account. So the account that you shared, support _ledger 2, that is a scam. So please do not interact with this account. I'll after this live, I will escalate this account to. We have a special team that takes care of smacking down those accounts. I'll let them know, and hopefully they can take it. Ping Twitter so they can take it down ASAP. Fake accounts, big issue on Twitter, just simply because it's so easy for scammers to create new accounts. That's why. But we're trying our best to decrease the number, but it's a bit of a whack-a-mole game, to be honest. So now, that being said, Gronk, I'm hoping I'm not butchering your name here. I'm getting the feeling I'm butchering your name, but here's the only legit Ledger support account. Okay. Cool. Next question. So we've got Magical Gamer. So I'm gonna answer Agostino first, and then Magical Gamer. So Agostino, hi Dan. In my Ledger Live app, in the Polkadot account, the last operations record is not updating. Okay. So a few things you might want to do here. Let me go back to Ledger Live. So let's say this is your Polkadot account, okay? And you say the latest operations are not loading. So the first thing you want to do is just very simply like checking that you are on the latest version of Ledger Live. So this would be, so if you go into settings, about, the number here should be 264.2. If you're seeing a different number, then it's time to update, and you can update via the Ledger website, ledger.com, okay? There is a link. So make sure you've updated, okay? Second thing you can do, once you're sure you are on the latest version, then you want to go back into the settings, okay? Help, and then clear cache. So clearing the cache will basically force Ledger Live to resync your accounts, resync the balances and all of that, and hopefully they will display the correct account. So that's the second thing you should do. Now, if the issue still persists, then you might want to as well, maybe you want to, so if you don't mind, if it's not private, you could drop the transaction ID in the chat, so I can take a look live, and I will tell you if there is, because there are certain types of transaction that Ledger Live will not be able to detect. There's one type of transaction called, it's got a weird name, it's called transferallow death. And if you do such transaction, maybe because you connect your Ledger device to a third-party wallet and you do a allow transfer death transaction, then that transaction will not be reflected in Ledger Live. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Something else I would check, Agostino, is you might also want to check if you see the transaction in something like Subscan. Okay, Subscan being what I recommend when it comes to checking Polkadot accounts. So if you see the transaction in a Subscan and you see it in the correct account, then you're good, and it's an issue with Ledger Live and not the transaction itself. So I would start maybe there. Okay. So check if the transaction appears in a Subscan, and if it's in the correct account, if it's not been canceled or it failed on the exchange side. And then if you see it in your account confirmed on Subscan, you know that at least it's not a network issue or an issue with the exchange, but it's an issue with Ledger Live. In this case, you can go through the steps. So update Ledger Live, clear the cache, and if it still doesn't work, then just let me know and we'll see. Okay, so next question is from Magical Gamer. My Ledger is not charging when plugged in. It says contact Ledger support, then turns off automatically after I take out the cord. I tried all Ledger support tips to fix this and nothing worked. So thank you for coming, Magical Gamer. We'll probably need to replace the device if the battery is shot. Then there is nothing we can do except giving you a new unit. So that's what I would suggest. Just send us a ticket. The way you can do this is via the help center. I'll drop the link in a second. Actually, the link is in the video description here. There's a link, contact us link. So you can click on this. It's support.ledger.com. On the website, just click the contact us button, which is like located right behind my camera, so you can't see it. And start a conversation with the bot. Explain your issue, and then explain that the battery is shot and you need a replacement. And then you'll get a ticket ID number in your email inbox. You can grab this number and just drop it in the chat, and then I'll pick it up tomorrow morning. But this time you should be able to get some live chat with an agent. I think the live chat shift is still going on. So yeah, that's what I would advise you to do. And don't worry, once you get your new device, you can just use your old recovery phrase, restore it into your new device, and then you're good to go. You can use your old accounts as before. Okay, next question, Dries. When is social recovery coming out? I really want to try it out. So I'm guessing you're talking about Ledger Recover. It's not launched yet. I don't think there is an official ETA for Ledger Recover. The reason why it's not launched yet is because the community, I think it's fair to say that we didn't communicate very well around the feature and what it does and what it does not. So people were a little worried. And so what we decided is open source the feature and providing more information such as the Recover white paper and things like this to the community so they can, realize that it's completely safe. So once we've finished open sourcing the recover code, then we will publish the service. And again, guys, recover, I know it's been controversial. I don't know if it's still controversial, but it's completely optional. Okay, and if you don't like it, just don't use it. It's made for specific type of users that need help custodying their recovery phrase, and that want to have a backup. It's just a backup solution. It's completely optional. That's just what it does. If you don't want to use it, don't activate it, and keep using your ledger device as before. That's all. Okay, cool. Dave McFly, if someone steals my ledger, what can I do? So it's a good question, Dave. It depends on if you think your ledger device has a strong PIN, so that would be a 8-digit PIN, then typically the person that steals your device, unless they know the PIN, they will not be able to get into the device because after 3 attempts, then the device will automatically reset. So you're good, right? But if you have a weak PIN, so what I mean by weak PIN would be a PIN code where typically it's like your birthday, or it's like all zeros or all ones or something like that. So a PIN that can be easily guessed. Then I would say it's probably better to move your funds out of your accounts, create a new recovery phrase in your accounts, and then send the funds back. You can send the funds to like an exchange account temporarily, for example. We actually have a tutorial that describes those steps that I shared it like moments earlier to Pamela, I think. This is the article that I'm talking about here. The following step I recommended if you've lost your 24-word recovery phrase or suspect that your accounts have been compromised. So I think this is your situation here, maybe. So I would say just follow those steps. But again, if you have a strong PIN, you're pretty good. You're good. Enough said. Thank you so much for your time. God bless. God bless you too. Thank you for coming. Next question from F. Does Ledger have plans to support the following tokens? AVAX, SYN, EGS, Sidus, and TIA. So AVAX, definitely, this one looks familiar. So definitely, I know it's currently not in Ledger Live, but you can still use your Ledger device with a third-party wallet. It's coming to Ledger Live and staking and all that stuff. SYN, I'm not familiar with. So I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna. Yeah, eventually, those tokens, Ledger Live can support any type of token, right? As long as the blockchain, the underlying blockchain is supported. So typically, yes. If you want those tokens to be supported, we just need to make a request to the devs. The devs will just run basic checks to make sure that the token is not a scam, in the sense that it's not dangerous to use. And then if it's not a scam, it doesn't put your funds at risk, then we'll probably support it. So what I would say is probably use this list here. What's your name? F. Use this list and check if the tokens are supported. If you see them in the list, I'm gonna drop this in the chat. But even if just so you know, even if the token is not supported, you can still, for example, let's say SYN, the SYN token is an Ethereum ERC20 token not supporting Ledger Live. Not supported just means that if you send it to Ledger Live, to your Ethereum accounts that shows in Ledger Live will not be able to detect the token, so it will not show you the bounce. Okay, it doesn't mean the coins are not in the account. It just means that Ledger Live cannot detect them. Okay, there is a workaround that usually works well. So let's say, for example, you send your token that's not supported to the correct account, but it doesn't show in Ledger Live. You might want to try going into the Discover section here, and you can try to use this app called Zerion. And Zerion typically supports more tokens that Ledger Live. You can think of Zerion as almost like a portfolio manager that's inside Ledger Live. And you can see Zerion is actually able to detect tokens on multiple different chains. So you can see an example here. It detects Ethereum, ETH on Ethereum, ETH on Arbitrum, Lido on Ethereum, Phantom on Phantom, and so on and so forth. So it supports tons of tokens. Okay, Next, the Mac. What's up with all these NFTs I'll be receiving on my ledger? They seem too good to be true. Correct. They are scams. Yes, it is too good to be true. You know, we live in this world, and unfortunately, in this world, like people don't give you stuff for free. That's pretty sad. But yeah, I would say it's probably a scam. The way it works is like the scammer will send you a token, an NFT. Sometimes it's a token. The NFT has scammy links. Even like the scammers will hope that either you look at the transaction history and then you by mistake like copy their address if you want to send coins and you send to their address. So that's one way they can do it. Or the second thing they might hope is that you go, you know, you look at that NFT that's sent to your account, and then you look up the NFT on OpenSea or something like that, and then OpenSea will have a scammy link in the NFT description. This is typically how this scam works. So what I would suggest, the Mac, is like you don't have to worry. Yes, the NFT is in your account, but it's not harmful when it's just in your account. I would say just hide the NFT, that's all. And the way you can do it is like, for example, like you're on your Polygon account, okay, you just select the NFT, right click, and then just hide. And then you will be gone from Ledger Live. Now, mind you, it's still in your account, right? But at least it's gone from view. And again, if it's just in your account sitting there and doing nothing, there is no danger. The danger will be if you start interacting with it, like send the NFT around or trying to get rid of it, or like start looking up the NFT page on OpenSea, and that's when you can get into trouble. So just hide it, ignore it, and you get. Enough said. Well, okay, so I'm gonna try to go a lot faster. I'm notoriously slow at answering question, guys. Sorry about that. Enough said. Dave, if someone steals your ledger, it's okay. They can't steal anything because they need your 24 phrase. Yeah, that's correct. I would say a caveat here, unless they know your PIN. If they know your PIN and they have your device, then there is a risk that they might be able to steal your funds. But other than that, you're perfectly correct. They can't do anything without the 24 recovery phrase. Pamela, how easy is it to swap, exchange one crypto into another one on Ledger? Like use ETH to TL Classic, TL being Terra Luna, I'm guessing, which is accepted into Ledger, Ether network into XRP, one Ledger. Okay, so Pamela, like the answer is depends on the pair. So there is plenty of ways to swap in Ledger Live. So you just go into swap here, and then you type, you know, the pair that you want to exchange, and not everything's supported, right? So the big popular trading pairs, like swapping pairs, like Bitcoin to Ethereum, Ethereum to Bitcoin, Solana to something else, Cardano, like those big coins, usually they are supported. There is more swapping options. But when it comes to more niche tokens, then some of them might not be supported. Now, so like for example, Ethereum to Terra Luna Classic, I don't think it's supported in Ledger Live. You will have to do the swap in an exchange and then send the coins back. XRP, yeah, it is supported. I think you can. There is quite a lot of options. See here. So you go to swap ETH for XRP or XRP for something else. Then you should be able to do the swap. Now, mind you, this is a service that will require a fee. Okay, it's not the swap is not feeless. There will be a fee. So but of course you'll be prompted to accept the fee or not in your device before you finalize the fee. So just make sure that you verify the fee on your device and on Ledger Live before you accept. Okay, because that'll be a price to pay. Darlene, the Mac, don't do it. It's a scam. I get tons of them. I feel okay. So she's responding to the Mac, the NFT thing. So yeah, guys, like those NFTs, just hide them in Ledger Live. Right click, hide. Don't try to move them or to interact with them, or just stay away. They're not harmful as long as they are in your device. But don't touch them. Deiji 1980. My new Nano X has a build issue. It's 1 month old and metal casing is badly scratching the screen. Support have not responded yet. I'm sorry to hear that, Dave. That happens sometimes when the hinge is a little too tight. So yeah, we'll replace the device if you want. You just need to get a hold of us via Ledger Support. So Ledger Support is our help center, and you can. So let me actually send you the article to contact us with all the instructions to get in touch with us. Yeah, so go through our help center, explain the issue. You might be able to interact with a live agent. If not, send us an email, and we'll replace the device with a new device. That being said, if you don't wanna, if you're impatient and you don't wanna, because it can take time to replace devices, but if you don't like that, then you can manually pull the hinge apart a little bit. That works as well. But of course, you might want a device that doesn't have a scratch screen. That's really fair. So just let us know and we'll get back to you. Okay. The Mac, thank you. Had a feeling. Yeah, you had the correct feeling, mate. Definitely a scam. Do you know what, the Mac? I'm actually gonna share with you this article here. It's called "Beware of Address Poisoning Scam," and that pretty much covers what we talked about and best practices to protect yourself as well. Although we covered most of them, but it could be nice if any of your friends in crypto have the same issue, then you can share that as well. Next, yeah, thank you, Pamela. You're welcome. Mecha360 question. When I try to connect my Ledger Nano X, a message pops up saying unknown error 0x650F. Can you please show how to fix it? So I'm not familiar with this error message. Okay, all right, it's a MetaMask issue. Mecha. Okay, it's a connection issue. Okay, so all the steps are here actually, Mecha. So it's an issue. This issue is because you're not using the correct. Oops, you're not using the correct connection method with MetaMask. So you're probably on the legacy connection method. All the steps are explained here in this article. So yeah, just follow the steps and let me know if that works. Next question from Darlene. Posted the concern, you skipped over it, I believe by accident. How do I crashes when I try to reinstall apps? Okay, when I try to reinstall apps, they were uninstalled after the firmware update. Transaction number, okay. Apologies about me skipping over the question, Darlene. Okay, I got the ticket number. Let me try to understand. So I posted concern, but by accident, how do I crashes when I try to install apps that were uninstalled after the firmware update? Typically this case here, that probably means that the firmware sort of bricked the device in some ways. So the probable outcome of this is we'll probably replace the device, if I had to guess. But I've got your ticket number. I believe, I guess you've been interacting with a different agent. So tomorrow morning, I will take a look at the tickets. I will check the status and just make sure that the agent that's in touch with you is following up, or I'll follow up myself. But the likely outcome here is a replacement if the device is still under warranty. If not, we'll see. Maybe we can get you a voucher to get a new device or something like that. We'll find a way to take care of you, okay? Cool, all right. Moving on, Cypher. Hi, can you please explain how to do USDT Sol or USDT BP20 token via Ledger Live? Cypher, Solana accounts in Ledger Live do not support tokens, meaning that yes, you can send your USDT to a Solana account that you created via Ledger Live, but Ledger Live will not be able to detect the USDT. Instead, you can use something like, what's it called? Solflare. You can use Solflare to manage your tokens with your ledger. Let me check. Let me drop that in the chat for you. When it comes to USDT BP20 tokens via Ledger Live, that's easier. They are supported in Ledger Live. Let me just show you real quick how to support it. Actually, you know what? I think I do remember that Binance is no longer supporting, like the Binance Smart Chain blockchain is no longer supporting USDT. I think they will convert your USDT to TUSD possibly. So you will get like a different stablecoin. If you withdraw USDT from Binance to your account, you will get like a different coin. But USDC is supported. You see, like this is my sorry. Let me share my screen here. You see, like this is my Binance Smart Chain account. Okay, you can see that USDC is supported here. USDT, I'm not sure if it's supported, but I would say if you withdraw stablecoins from Binance, you might get TUSD, if I had to guess, or USDC. So maybe you might want to consider like sending USDC to your Binance Smart Chain account instead of USDT. That might be a better option. And the way you would do it, you would just select your account, receive, then create your account. You create your account, right? And then you verify your receiving address, you copy this address, you can verify it on the device as well, boom. You make sure that they match, okay? And then copy the address, boom. Then you can go on Binance and then paste this address into Binance to withdraw your coins. Make sure that when you withdraw, you select the Binance Smart Chain network, which should be BP20 network. Then you should be good. Next, the Pankar Bora. Ledger Nano S capacity 138 Cardano app uses 120K. What will happen if Cardano crosses 138 KBs in new Cardano app updates? And then how do I use Cardano apps in the Ledger Nano S? Yeah, that is a very legit concern. The Pankar. So yeah, basically, like if the Cardano app exceeds the size of the Nano S, then you will have no other option, unfortunately, than getting like a new device that has a bigger storage capacity. It is just the way it is when it comes to app size. As new features are supported with the app, then the app gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And because the Nano S has been, as you know, sunset, it's no longer produced. Then we're not manufacturing Nano S devices anymore. So the next step would be to get a Nano S Plus like this one. Honestly, I've done it myself. I was a long-time user of the Nano S. I upgraded to Nano S Plus. I don't regret it. Nano S Plus, much better. Huge storage capacity, so you don't have to worry about the size of the app. So yeah, I would suggest that you do that, and we can get you a discount if you update from a Nano S to a Nano S Plus. Okay, so it's much cheaper if you upgrade that way. But yeah, that's something that's going to happen eventually. The app size will outgrow the Nano S capacity. Next question from Grungy K. Maybe your name is Grungy K or Grunk. I'm not sure, but yeah, no worries. It's my fault. I'm really bad at reading names. But happy to help. Next, Billy Boots. Hello, I'm having difficulty connecting to Shiba Swap using Wallet Connect on my Ledger Live mobile, and I can't connect with my Ledger extension app. Do you have links to detailed tutorials for this? Shiba Swap, no, I don't have a direct tutorial for it, but I would say, okay, so you're using mobile, can't connect with my Ledger extension app. So Wallet Connect should work. Now, I know it was deactivated for a while, for a few days, but it just got, it's just back on the app. So I make sure that you're using the latest version of the app. And if you could tell me like what kind of issue you're having on mobile, maybe I can dig a little deeper, see how I can help here. If you have a desktop computer, then consider using a desktop computer because Wallet Connect definitely works there. And you can use MetaMask instead on a desktop. So hopefully that helps. But Wallet Connect should work. I used it yesterday myself. So yeah, maybe if you see a specific error message, then let me know. I'll try to help here. Okay, I'm gonna try to accelerate, guys. Next question, when ETH-X support? I don't know, not familiar with ETH-X, Pedro, but if it's a token, eventually it will be supported in Ledger Live. Next question, Art DRBO. Is someone subscribed to Ledger Recover? Can Ledger Recover not only recover phrase, but also passphrase? If that, yeah, okay, so good question. If someone is subscribed to Ledger Recover, can Ledger Recover not only recover the phrase, but also the passphrase? The answer is no. Ledger Recover will only back up your recovery phrase, but not the passphrase. And that's actually cool because, you know, if you have your Ledger Recover backup, which by the way, Ledger Recover is not live yet, okay, so you can't use it. But if Ledger Recover you use Ledger Recover to back up your recovery phrase, but you put a passphrase on top of the recovery phrase that's backed up, then since Recover doesn't shard the passphrase along with your normal seed, then you can still have you have like almost like a secure protection on top of the backed up recovery phrase. So it's actually a really good setup having Ledger Recover plus a passphrase. I think that's actually a very strong security setup in my opinion. But it's up to you to decide if you want to use Recover or not and a passphrase. But passphrase in general are great. Would recommend them even if you don't use Recover. Next question, Magical Gamer. Thank you. Already have an email support case. Yep. Gonna write this down and I'll get back to you tomorrow morning, Paris time. So, you know, expect an email from me in the morning or like afternoon. Like I'll get back to you tomorrow. Magical Gamer. And thank you for the kind words here. Next question, Nature Boy. By the way, I just wanted to go back to Art DBRBO, the passphrase thing. The passphrase is an optional security feature that you can add on top of it's to create secret accounts, right? By adding a 25th word that you can memorize to 24 words. So if even if someone gets access to 24 word recovery phrase, if they don't have the passphrase, the extra word it can be anything you want, you can memorize, right? If they don't have access to the 25th word, then they won't be able to access your secret accounts, which is really cool. And if you are interested in the passphrase, I'm gonna share my screen here to show you where to get more information about passphrases. You go in the help center, support.ledger.com, you type passphrase, bim boom, how to set up a passphrase. You read the article and that's that, Bob's your uncle, and that's how you do it. I'll drop the link in the chat for you guys if you want to check it out. How to set up a passphrase, very powerful feature. Nature Boy, if I purchase another Ledger device, should I create a new seed phrase or just continue using my existing one? I would say just use the same one, Nature Boy. Just restore the old passphrase into the new device. And this way you will have a backup device, right? Because both devices will have the same copy of the recovery phrase, the private keys in memory. So that's the best setup. So you've got your everyday device, and then you keep the other device as a backup in case the other device dies. I think that's the strongest setup. And I'm gonna share with you a tutorial on how to do it. How to restore a recovery phrase into a new device. That is, of course, as long as the recovery phrase hasn't been compromised, right? If the recovery phrase is safe, then it's safe to seed the recovery phrase into multiple devices to create backups. Pamela, hoping my second question was clear. I'm not a techie. Some old schoolers, yeah, no worries. Need a lot of help, and thank you. It's not easy for me to understand all that's on the website again. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, your question was clear. Yeah, the question was clear, Pamela. But let me be even clearer with you, because I feel like sometimes I go a little fast because I'm so used to, using larger products and stuff. So let me share with you an article on how to use the swap feature in Ledger Live, because I just want to make sure that you can do it in your own time without precipitation. So here's just basic tutorial on how to use Changely, which is one of the most popular exchange swap providers in Ledger Live. Okay, next, Agostino Serra. Last operation records is not updating. Polkadot accounts. I have Ledger Live updated, cleared the cache, transaction from Binance to LNS plus the balance is correct. The dot arrived correctly. It shows success on the Subscan title, still not showing in the last operation record. Okay, Agostino, just a quick question. There is a type of transaction that is not supported in Ledger Live, and I'll show you in a second what this transaction is. And it's a transaction that exchanges sometimes use to send crypto to users like yourself. It's called transferallow death. So I don't know if you can see my screen. Well, you can probably see my screen. Yeah. If the transaction has transferallow death in the call, then this transaction will not be visible in Ledger Live. You'll have to use a third-party wallet, such as Polkadot.js. You can also use Talisman to try to access the account. So let me know if that's the case for you. If the transaction you see in Subscan is a transferallow death transaction. It's kind of a creepy name for a transaction, but if not, then I would say just use a third-party wallet like Polkadot.js to see that correct balance. And then I'll escalate on my side to the devs to see like how quick they can fix the issue. Sharing with you a tutorial about Talisman, which is a pretty awesome third-party wallet that's compatible with Ledger as well. Ray, any update regarding AVAX, Kadena being added to Ledger Live? AVAX, no update. I know it's coming. It's probably gonna come before Kadena. I know there is a team that's working full-time to integrate AVAX in Ledger Live. I think they want to ship AVAX support, but also staking support. So that's why it's taking a little more time than expected. Kadena, like internally at Ledger Support, we are championing Kadena to help you guys get the but it's difficult because the devs have so much stuff on their hands, and I don't know what's the blocker at this point. I know it's been a long time, but we are pushing internally for this, so I can't promise anything, of course, because I'm not the one actually shipping the app, but we'll try our best to speed that up, and we know the community wants that app. Next, Mecca, when I try to connect my ledger, I think I answered that question. That was the MetaMask question. Pedro Santos, is there a burn address where we can send those fake NFTs? There is a burn address, but you shouldn't use it, Pedro. The reason why is because some of those NFTs might actually trick you into signing like transactions that might be dangerous. So that's why the best practice is just to hide the transaction in Ledger Live. I wouldn't recommend to even try to move the NFT because you might get into troubles, and you might accidentally or on purpose from the scammer like sign a transaction that will give the scammer access to your account by just moving this NFT. So I would say like it's not safe to try to interact with those NFT. Just hide them. Okay, hiding them is the best, easiest way to get rid of them. You won't be able to see them. And again, if they are just in your account but doing nothing, there is nothing. There is no issue with that. It's not dangerous. Okay, so Agostino, yeah, transferallow death. So that's the one. It is not supported, and so you won't be able to see it until a future version of Ledger Live that supports transferallow death transaction. So sorry about that, but for now, I mean, at least the balance is correct, so I guess that's good. But just the transaction will not show in Ledger Live, I guess. Cool. Next, Emil Semsorov. Sorry for butchering your name, Emil. Hey, amigo. Are Ledger going to add USDT on Solana network as visual option directly in Ledger Live? So we can. I answered this question, Emil. Yes, eventually, Solana tokens will be supported, and I think USDT being a huge token will be supported in that batch. Now, in the meantime, you can still send your USDT in your Ledger Solana accounts, but it won't show in Ledger Live. I would say, use Solflare. Solflare is great. It works on mobile, it works on desktop. You can connect your Ledger device to both. solid wallet, and yeah, you will definitely be able to see and manage your USDT with your ledger that way. Sharing the link with you. Pamela, swapping SHIB into XRP on Ledger. Okay, great. So let me take a look. So, okay, I'm in Ledger Live, all right? I'm going to swap here. So you said SHIB into XRP. Okay, so I hope I've got some SHIB left. Let me check. SHIB is, yeah, here we go. See, SHIB. All right, so SHIB, XRP. Yes, it looks like it is supported. So yeah, you'll be able to do it. Now, notice that it's saying that the parent account balance is insufficient for network fees. This means that I don't have enough ETH in my account, or Ledger thinks I don't have enough ETH in my Ethereum account where my SHIB is to pay for the transaction to swap. Because when you swap here, what happens is like you're gonna send the coins to an exchange called Changely. Changely will send you back the XRP, okay? So there is two transactions, right? And that transaction, sending your SHIB to Changely, will cost you gas. So you need to make sure that the Ethereum account where you have SHIB also have a fair amount of ETH as well, okay? Just like this, just like you can see here. So in my case, I think it's just because the gas price right now on Ethereum is so expensive that, you know, $13 of ETH is not even enough to pay for that transaction, which is crazy, but that's what it is. Like Ethereum is very expensive. So, you know, if you get like if you want to pay less fee, then I would suggest to do the swap like on Saturday morning, you know, early, when outside US business hours, because that's when the fees are the craziest. Cool. All right. Next question, guys. Tons of questions here. Chuck, where's my stacks? Chuck, yeah, sorry about that. I'm also waiting for my stacks, if I'm being honest. We'll send you an email when it's ready to ship. Right now, we're still working on it, and I see the hardware team every single day, and they're working very hard to ship a good product. But yeah, the production has been delayed, unfortunately, because yeah, it's a new device, new technology that had to be created to create that product, and we just want to make sure that the device is perfect before we ship it. We'll send you an email to the email address that you use to pre-order once your device is ready to ship. And again, yeah, so sorry about the delay, Chuck. I feel the pain. I'm waiting for mine as well. Mecca, yeah, you're welcome. Darlene, I can't do anything without apps. Yeah, I understand, Darlene. That being said, like, you know, once we ship you a new device, you'll be able to reinstall the apps, seed your recovery phrase into your new device, and just keep using the device as before. I'll take a look at your ticket tomorrow, though. Emil, this answered the question. Will be cool if you add Sol. Okay, the other option is to connect with Phantom Wallet to Solflare. Yeah, I like Solflare personally. Emil again, hey Dan, I have a theoretical smart storm question. What is going to happen when Bitcoin blockchain, when the last coin is mined? Oh, dude, that's the $1 trillion question. I think so. The last piece of Bitcoin that will be mined will be in the year of the Lord 2134, something like that. So we'll probably we won't be around to see it unless they make eternal life possible in the meantime, who knows? But I think the issues with miners not sticking around because of a lack of fee will start to manifest much before that. Typically, like, miner will abandon like the Bitcoin blockchain, which will become less secure. I think no one knows the implications of that because it's complete uncharted territory. At this point, what could happen? The game theory is not clear. I think Bitcoin makes assumption that the miners will stick around because of the transaction fee. But if the transaction fees are close to nil because people are just hodling the coins but they don't use it as money or they don't transact a lot, then nothing's going to keep the miners around. So I know Steven Livera, the crypto podcaster from Australia, he talks about this kind of stuff a lot. Maybe you can find podcasts that discuss the question, but honestly, I would say, I don't think anyone has the answer, to be honest. They might think they have the answer, but I don't think anyone really has the answer. Oh man, well, good for you. If you could ship me some of that Spring of the Youth, I'd love to live a little longer and see what's going on. Bitcoin could have a great long life ahead of it, but who knows, right? And for me, so that's where the investing strategy ties in, right? Because you can believe in Bitcoin, but I think it's smart, not investment advice, of course, guys, but it's smart to have different investment just in case, something terribly wrong happens on that side. It's just a thought. You don't have to follow me in there. Okay, Cypher. Okay, thanks. Yeah, thank you, Cypher. The Mac, my Ledger 1 updates only work on Bluetooth, not USB connection. I have to scroll back up. The Ledger. Okay, so the Ledger. My Ledger 1 updates only work on Bluetooth, not USB connection. That's probably the Mac because you're using an iPhone. So USB connection doesn't work on iPhones, only works on desktop or Android phones. So if you're an iPhone user, you'll have to use Bluetooth. Now that being said, you can't update the firmware via Bluetooth. You have to use you have to connect your Ledger device physically to a computer to do it. So maybe that's the issue you're facing. Agostinho, any chance we'll see a stake XRP feature in Ledger Live? So the answer is no, and because XRP is not a proof of stake token. XRP it's sort of a weird, no offense, but it's sort of a weird, consensus mechanism, right? So you've got different type of consensus, right? You've got what we call proof of work, which is Nakamoto consensus, which is how the Bitcoin network comes to agreements on the order of blocks and transactions and all that. And there are blockchains such as Ethereum now, but also Solana and things like that are proof of stake, right? In proof of stake, you stake your coins as a validator, and you say, hey, I'm staking this money. In exchange, I will help the network produce more blocks and validate transactions. And for my work, I will receive staking rewards. Now the thing is, XRP is not a proof of stake. Blockchain. So there is no staking. The concept of staking doesn't exist on XRP. I think it's possible that in the future you could potentially bridge your XRP from XRP to something like Flare network and then stake pseudo XRP or representation of XRP on Flare. That's possible, maybe. I don't know. I'm not that deep into the XRP ecosystem, but for sure, staking XRP coins on XRP, unless the XRP lab core team decide to completely reshuffle the XRP network, then it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Mecha, blind signing, should it be disabled or enabled all the time? I keep it enabled, personally, because I use smart contracts a lot, so I just keep it enabled. It's best practice is typically to keep it disabled, but if it's a little too paranoid, I think. If you used to blind signing outside of, signing smart contract transaction outside of Ledger Live, then you probably have experience blind signing. It's not the best way to do it because ideally you want to use dApps that are inside Ledger Live so you don't have to blind sign. But I would say if you're gonna use those third-party apps that require blind signing, then just keep it enabled. That's just more convenient. Pamela, how to retrieve IP addresses, want to import from other exchanges, had difficulty finding IP addresses, suggestion on how easy it is. It is easy for those that are techie, for which I'm not. Pamela, so one important concept here is your addresses on the exchange, right? Binance, for example, or Coinbase, and your addresses on your ledger are completely separated and you cannot import your exchange address into your ledger. You will have to physically like move the coins from Coinbase wallets to your own wallet. And the way you do it is by setting up your device, creating an account in Ledger Live, and then receiving coins. Let me share a tutorial with you. So there is no concept of exporting accounts from an exchange to your device. You'll have to create your own accounts in Ledger Live. Okay, Pamela. Here we go. So here's a tutorial on how to receive coins. Next, Darlene. So will someone contact me about my issue? I have my transaction number. I think, but Darlene, I remember like checking your ID number last time, and someone was taking care of the ticket. But again, I'm happy to take a second look. Like maybe the ticket got stuck somehow or lost. So yes, if it's not the agent that took care of your case, then it will be me that will get back to you. I've got your ticket number, so I'll take care of you. Mecca, it says on the device transaction blind signing enabled. Is this correct? Should it change it? It's fine if you're going to it's fine, Mecca, if you're going to blind sign. Now that being said, again, like blind signing is dangerous in the sense that you don't know what you're signing. Okay, so you have to use like an app that you trust. So I don't know what app you're using right now. Maybe you can tell me, and so you can share like a link to the app that you're about to use. But typically, if it's better to use apps that are available in Ledger Live because those have been vetted and you don't need to blind sign. So let me know what app you're trying to move, and I'll let you know. Now, that being said, if you're trying to move tokens via MetaMask, then that's moving ERC20 tokens via MetaMask is a smart contract transaction. So that will require blind signing for sure. Cypher, does Ledger support any DEX swap blockchain like Solana for USDT? Is the verification app recovery phrase secure on Ledger Live? Yes, Cypher, it is. It is completely secure. I use it every 6 months to make sure that my recovery phrase is still correct. So it is safe. Does Ledger support any DEX swap blockchain like Solana for USDT? Yeah. Actually, no. No, sorry. Solana for USDT, I don't think. It's not supported in Ledger Live, but it's supported in Solflare. I know that Solflare has its own swap service, so you connect your Ledger device to it, and then there is a swap tab in Solflare, so you can use that to convert Sol to USDT directly from your Ledger account. So that's what I would do if I were you. Dave, sharing your support case. I'll pick it up tomorrow, Dave. So yeah, me or a different agent, but someone will get in touch. Pamela, is Changely a third party? I've heard it's risky to use third parties. It is a third party exchange, yes. That being said, Changely is safe. It's been vetted. It's inside Ledger Live, and there is a reason why it's inside Ledger Live. It's because it's safe. So yes, you can use Changely without any issue. Pamela, did you say lots of questions, Pamela? I love it. It's great. Thank you for the interaction here. And guys, I'll have to leave the live in 5 minutes because I'm bumping against my hard limit here. Did you say Ledger? We do every Monday. Yeah, we do it every Monday, but also every Tuesday, every Wednesday. So it's like Monday to Friday every week, Pamela. So let me share with you the schedule. You can also sign up for upcoming live directly on the website on YouTube by just pressing the bell icon on upcoming videos. That's the best way to know when the next session is. So there'll be a session tomorrow. There'll be a session on Wednesday as well, which is more which is friendlier to US hours. So if you're based in the US, then you might want to wait for the Wednesday session because it's on, it's, I think, let me share my screen here with you. So this is the link that I share with you with the DMA schedule. And you can see that the Ask Us Anything session is at 4 p.m. PST, so Pacific time on Wednesday. Yep. And other than that, we have sessions every single day. So, yep. Cool. Next. Agostinho. Yeah, okay, so that was the transfer of death. Cool. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Universal. Hi, I'm not able to swap my Volt Inu token for Tether on LedgerSwap or any other DEXs. I cleared the cache. I get the error operation denied on the device. What is the issue? That's a bug, I think, Universal. I think that's a bug that's been reported before. I don't know if there is a workaround. Operation. Let me check. No, there's nothing on the house center. So what I would suggest is to use maybe something like Rango. Swap for Tether on LedgerSwap. So Universal. So yeah, use PairSwap. Maybe you can use PairSwap outside LedgerLive with connected to MetaMask or Wallet Connect. That could actually be a good workaround. So let me share with you. So step number 1, Universal, is connect your Ledger device to MetaMask. Here's how to do it. Okay, I'm sharing the link with you. Step number 2 would be to actually go to PairSwap, the PairSwap 1-inch web app, and do your swap over there by connecting your Ledger device to PairSwap via MetaMask. I don't even know if you need MetaMask, to be honest. I think there might be a direct connection possible. So yeah, if FlashDrive doesn't work, like try the same app in the browser and sometimes it works. Cypher. Yeah, 2140. Yeah, okay, that's the one. It's a long time. Who knows? Maybe we'll still be alive, you know. Maybe Bitcoin will be $100 trillion by that time. That would be nice for sure. Who knows? I don't know if I want to live forever. I don't know you guys, but I think boredom might set in eventually. Emil, yeah, you're welcome, mate. Sure, I'm saying. Okay, great. Okay, 2 more questions, maybe. Cypher, it says 10% net worth crypto because 50% in market dumps. Psychology is bad. Yeah, okay. Interesting take. Pedro Santos, ETHX is the Stereo Labs ETH staked. Ah, thanks, Pedro. I needed that context, I think. I'm surprised it's not supported. Because let me check. Okay, let me check. So for context, I'm on the latest version of LedgerLive, so that's 2.64.2. Let me do it for you. Just give me a second. There is a page that lists all the supported tokens in LedgerLive with regard to the current version. So check the list real quick. I'm gonna share the list with you as well if you want to use it in the future. This list is being updated with each new release of LedgerLive. Yeah, ETHX. So ETHX. Yeah. Yeah, no, okay. So it's supported on Polygon. No, but that's not the same. Yeah, man, I don't think it's supported. Unfortunately, I think you're right. It's not supported. Now, that being said, Pedro, it might be supported in Xerion. So, you know, you might want to go into the Discover section, Xerion here, and it's probably supported by Xerion, I think. At least, like, meaning that you'll be able to see it in Xerion if it doesn't show in LedgerLive. And then you can use Xerion to manage that as well, right? Xerion will let you move tokens as well. I'll escalate that because ETH is an interesting token. So yeah. Mecca, when I connect my ledger using MetaMask, I don't see receive. It shows buy, send, swap, bridge portfolio, but not the word receive. That is because you're probably not connected to MetaMask, Mecca. You need to physically connect the device, and then you need to. So let me just go through the steps here real quick. Okay. So check this out. Let me share my screen. Okay, so you see here, I'm in MetaMask, okay? I want to make sure that the Ethereum app is open on the device, okay? Then you go into, they changed it. Okay, never mind. So you click, so what you will see, okay, so what you will see probably is something like that, okay? Account 1 or account 2, something like that. So click that, then click hardware wallet, select your device, your ledger device. Now make sure the ETH app is open, click continue, then you'll get a ping here, connect, and boom, your accounts will appear like that. You select the account that you want to add. So for example, number 3, I've already added 1 and 2, so I'm adding number 3, unlock, and then boom, the account will show in Ledger Live. And you know it's a Ledger account because it will have the little Ledger tag here, okay, underneath. And as you can see, right, there'll be a send button, and to receive, it's normal that there is no receive button. You just click the address here, and then you use that address to send to your wallet. That's all. Okay. I think they changed the interface. MetaMask changed the interface recently. They used to have a receive button, and now it's gone. It's a little jarring. I agree. They should have kept it, I think, just for old timers. But yeah, you just copy your address and then you use that. That's all. Okay, last question. Yeah, Mecca, just check that, it's normal. If I don't see the receive button as well. You just copy the address and use that. I don't like that they remove the receive button. I know it's useless because you've got the address, but I think it's cool to, it's a little too jarring. Anyway, last question, guys. So Pedro, just to answer your question, Lightning is not coming to Ledger Live because it's Lightning currently is mostly custodial, and this is not a philosophy. So there is no Lightning integration for Ledger Live coming. Last question, guys. Although I would like personally to have Lightning in Ledger Live, to be clear, because I think it would be cool, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon. Last question, guys. I really need to go after that. But I'll be back tomorrow with Pringle, my mate from Ledger. So we'll be back around the same time. Felix will be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. CET. Okay, so, and me and Pringle will be back on Thursday, 4:30 p.m. French time. The last question from Emil. Ask you about the last coin because most people the last Bitcoin don't even simulate the math. With halvings, miners are crucial in Lightning Network. Some people will not spare taxes with them. Yeah, I agree. I think the layer 2s and the economic incentives of Minot sticking around is very iffy, and it could work out for sure, but it could not. And I think it's good to be honest about the future of Bitcoin, right? Because it's still emerging technology, and there are risks. And Cypher, no, if something goes wrong in Solflare, nothing like, I don't know what could go wrong in Solflare, because Solflare doesn't have access to private keys. It's just like Ledger Live. Ledger Live doesn't have access to private keys, it's just an interface. So Solflare is the same. So unless you compromise your account by, I don't know how you would do it on Solana, maybe on signing a shady smart contract transaction, but I don't even know if it's possible on Solana, then yes, in that scenario, then just the Solflare account will be compromised. But honestly, you can connect. It's completely safe to connect your Ledger device to any third-party wallets. Those don't have access to the private keys. Cool. All right. Well, guys. Yes, Emil. There is fog, and we'll see. It's exciting, but who knows? But I think it's good to sort of have a diversified portfolio of a little bit of ETH, a little bit of Solana, a little bit of you do whatever you want, of course. Not suggesting to buy those particular, but it's nice to keep in mind the risk and that it's still very early days, right? Bitcoin is just over 14 years old, maybe. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop rambling right now. I hope you enjoyed the live. I'll be back myself on Thursday. Felix will be live tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. 5 p.m. CET, so that's Paris time. There'll be a session on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific for you guys in the US. And yes, so if you have any questions, just attend the sessions. If not, drop your question directly in the comment section under the video, and I'll see you on Thursday. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.